So at this point, Republicans and many Democrats are believing that AOC is going to be the future of the Democrat Party. And a group of Republican senators were asked about this. And Senator Kennedy said one of the funniest things I think I've ever heard anyone say about Democrats. Here it is.
What do you think of the new leadership, Jasmine, AOC, and Bernie?
I consider Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez to be the leader of the Democratic Party. She's entitled to her opinion. I'm entitled to mine. As I've said about her before, I think she's the reason there are directions on a shampoo bottle. And our plan for dealing with her...
You didn't plan that out. We got to hurry.
Our plan for dealing with her is called Operation Let Her Speak.
So Senator Kennedy is right. I'm not saying AOC couldn't be a formidable opponent to the GOP in terms of some of her ideas. She's very populist. I think that's very popular right now, for example. But similar to Kamala Harris, I think the more that you let AOC speak, the worse she gets and the more it turns some people off. Here's the most recent polling, by the way, for AOC for the Democrat primary in the 2028 election, because this is fascinating. We already have data out from this, and a lot of these people obviously are going to run. Some of them won't, but I think it's interesting to look regardless. What you can see right here, and if you're just listening, I'll read it out to you. The person ahead right now is Kamala Harris, which is insane. But right behind her is Buttigieg, and then Newsom and Ocasio-Cortez are both tied at 7%. Harris is at 31%, a commanding lead. However, add Bernie Sanders' support onto AOC, and she's in second place. And the reason why I say add Bernie Sanders on is because Bernie Sanders is the same kind of politician, that same populist energy as AOC, and they've basically already campaigned together. I mean, they were in Arizona, I think 3 weeks ago, and had fantastic turnout. So I don't think it would, and Sanders is too old to run, honestly, and I don't think he will. But Sanders is looking at this, and I think he's thinking, I can pass on my legacy, and he is an ideologue, so he wants his ideas to go forward. And if he's looking around and thinking, who am I going to actually pass my legacy on to, I think AOC makes the most sense for him. That puts her at 14%, which again is above Buttigieg. And again, so that's the second place. But the first place person, Kamala Harris, is someone who notoriously cannot primary. She cannot. She is so bad at primary elections. She had to coup her own boss so she didn't have to face one. So I think AOC being the top dog is not unrealistic. And this is where Stephen A. Smith comes into picture. So Stephen A. Smith was talking on a show this week and kind of threw some shade on AOC amidst some rumors that he is going to actually want to run in 2028. So here is what that sounded like.
See, when I think about the Republicans, I think the Republicans are asking us, particularly Trump, trust me. And by the way, he's in a position to do it because he won the popular vote. He won the electoral college vote. He won every swing state. He won both houses of Congress. He's got a majority 6-3 in the Supreme Court. I mean, damn. Americans didn't just give it to him. He took it because he recognized what the left wasn't doing. They were preoccupied with nonsense. You want to ask why Stephen A. Smith felt the need to speak up at the NAB conference? Let me ask y'all this question. We supposed to leave it to Bernie Sanders and AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? We're supposed to leave it with individuals that will tell you that it's perfectly okay to tax 70% of your money? Not that they gave out that number. I'm just speculating because of how socialistic they are in their thinking. We're supposed to say that that's okay? Y'all okay with that? You okay with going to work and making $100 and walking home with 30? You sure about that? Are you cool with it? Just tell me.
So this is really interesting. You now have AOC, which represents kind of the populist side, the I hate billionaire wing of the Democrat Party. And then you have Stephen A. Smith on the other side, who is a multimillionaire, like hundreds of millions of dollars, and would likely get an endorsement from other people on the list that I just showed you of the polling, like Mark Cuban and other wealthy Democrats and celebrities, people that have a lot of pull. So you can call them establishment if you want. I don't know if that's a perfect dichotomy there, but it's interesting. Nonetheless, you have a populist in AOC versus Stephen A. Smith. And I think that's an interesting dichotomy. I'm inclined to believe in a head-to-head matchup that AOC wins this because I think populism right now in America is really powerful. I think people want to see the system burn for good or for bad. I'm not really making a judgment on it. I'm just saying I think that's how people feel right now. I think populism is very popular, and I don't think that Stephen A. Smith has that populist appeal to him. Did you know that you could be missing out on thousands of dollars this year? This year, 88% of filers for taxes are going to actually get a return of at least $3,000 back, but a lot of people are not filing thinking they're going to lose money, and they're actually leaving money on the table. And that's why I partnered with QuickTax America. QuickTax America has already gotten its average tax returner over $4,000 back from the IRS just this year. And unlike the other services, just because there's only a week left for you to file, they're not raising rates. All federal returns with them are only $69. It's a completely transparent upfront price because it's their only price, no matter how complicated your taxes are. QuickTax America, it runs dozens of simulations on your taxes to make sure they get you the biggest and most beautiful return possible. And all you got to do is upload your files, answer a few basic questions, and schedule a 15-minute finish your return call with a tax professional. They do all the rest of the work for you. So you have 6 days left until, or if you're watching it later, you might have less, until your taxes are due. Don't get fined from the IRS. Don't lose that massive return that you could get. Go check them out right now at quicktaxamerica.com, or you can go to the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.